If you're over 60 and you think your evenings are harmless, I want you to pause for a moment and look closer. Every passing day, your mind and body are absorbing the results of your nightly routine, and the truth is that certain habits can speed up aging without you even realizing it. People over 60 often feel secure once the sun goes down, believing there's nothing left to do but unwind. Yet it's during these late hours that subtle decisions lead to trouble. If you've ever woken up and felt just a bit weaker than you did before, or you've noticed new lines on your face in the mirror, there's a chance your evening practices are quietly working against you. And the scariest part? Most friends, neighbors, and even family might never mention it, because these habits look so normal from the outside. You deserve a life that doesn't feel weighed down by needless fatigue, foggy mornings, or that creeping sense that time is slipping away too fast. Your evening should be a time of gentle preparation, nurturing your body and mind for the rest they genuinely need. But for many people over 60, it's a time filled with hidden traps, late meals, endless worry, and choices that disrupt natural healing processes. In the next few minutes, you'll discover 5 terrible evening habits that could be speeding up the aging clock. Some of them you might guess. Others will leave you surprised, because they're so common that no one questions them. Stay with me, and let's pull back the curtain on what your nights might be doing to you. Number 1. Constantly checking the news or engaging in overstimulating media. It seems harmless at first. You sit down after a long day, flip on the TV or scroll through your phone, and catch up on world events. But after 60, this habit can spark more turmoil than you'd imagine. For some, it starts innocently. You just want a quick update, something to fill the quiet of the evening. Then you find yourself soaking in stories of economic crises, violent incidents, or arguments between public figures. Before long, your heart rate is up, you feel a tightness in your chest, and your thoughts race in circles about what might go wrong next. Over time, this nightly news immersion becomes a powerful source of mental stress. Your body isn't designed to endure constant doses of alarming headlines, especially during hours when you should be winding down. Night after night of agitation pushes stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline into your system, which accelerates physical aging. Look around you, and you'll see people who appear older than their years. Their faces bear lines etched by worry, their posture seems tense, and their eyes reflect a nervous kind of exhaustion. Many don't realize how much of it is fueled by the content they consume late in the day. Margaret, 73, found herself trapped in this cycle. She'd watch her favorite news channel before bed, convinced she needed the information to remain alert to the world's dangers. Yet she found she couldn't sleep well, waking up groggy and discouraged. There was a subtle, constant heaviness in her mind that made her days feel harder, and she thought this was just a normal part of aging. Then one week, a friend suggested she cut out all disturbing media in the late evening. The difference was profound. Her sleep improved, the circles under her eyes began to fade, and she found the energy for small morning walks she'd given up years before. The key problem is that stimulating media content keeps the brain on high alert, rather than letting it shift into a relaxed state that promotes cellular repair. Each anxious thought that spins through your mind can erode your well-being. Instead, your last hours awake should guide you gently toward rest, not push you into a swirl of tension. To break free, you don't have to cut yourself off from all information, but you can restrict your exposure to intense stories or heated talk shows after a certain time. Choose quieter forms of engagement, gentle music, a simple craft, or a mild conversation with someone close. Over time, you'll notice less tension in your face, a calmer sense of self, and, most importantly, a body that rests more deeply, allowing rejuvenation to happen naturally. Number 2, late heavy dinners that burden your body. If you're over 60, those cozy evening meals might be sabotaging you more than you know, particularly if they happen too late or involve rich, heavy dishes. People often say dinner is a time to connect with family, to celebrate the day's end. Yet too many seniors find themselves indulging in big portions, desserts, or greasy comfort foods when their body desperately needs a gentle close to the day. It's easy to tell yourself you deserve a hearty meal, especially after you've eaten lightly in the morning or afternoon. But once that dinner crosses the line from nourishment to stress, you're stepping into dangerous territory. Thomas, 71, noticed that he felt bloated and slow on most mornings. He struggled to get out of bed, his knees and back aching more severely than usual. Initially, he blamed it on the weather or just getting older. But then he started tracking what he ate at night: large pasta dishes filled with heavy sauces, sweets right before bed, and plenty of salty snacks to accompany his late TV time. He was basically overloading his digestive system at the precise moment it needed to wind down. When he reduced his portion sizes and ate no later than 3 hours before bedtime, he noticed a surprising shift in how he felt at sunrise. His energy climbed, and the dull pain in his joints lessened. Why is a late heavy meal so damaging? Your body works on a natural rhythm, and digestion requires considerable energy. When you cram in excessive calories, especially near bedtime, you force your body to churn away at food when it should be focusing on repair. Instead of helping your cells regenerate, the body diverts precious resources to your stomach. This slows your metabolism and can spike your blood sugar overnight, leading to restless sleep and a frazzled mind the next day. For older adults, repeated patterns of this nature intensify inflammation, stiffen blood vessels, and aggravate issues like acid reflux or heart stress. It's not that you must give up the joy of dinner altogether, but consider lighter options: soups packed with gentle vegetables, baked fish, or a modest portion of lean protein, balanced by fruits or cooked greens. By shifting to lighter, earlier dinners, you'll likely see improvements you didn't expect. Morning stiffness may lessen, sleep becomes deeper, and the general feeling of heaviness around your waist and midsection can start to dissolve. You reclaim an evening that feels less weighed down by digestion and more open to a restful night of true renewal. Number 3. Engaging in prolonged arguments or emotional battles. You might think you're done with conflict by now, that the biggest battles happened years ago. Yet there's a hidden pattern many people overlook: those long, draining conversations or arguments that happen late in the day when defenses are low and patience is thin. If you're over 60, each intense dispute at night can strike like a hammer on your emotional equilibrium, a direct hit to your sense of well-being. Most importantly, these confrontations trigger physiological changes that drive aging forward. Even if you don't shout or say hurtful things, the internal strain you experience is real. Your heart pumps faster, your blood pressure surges, and your body releases stress hormones that linger well past bedtime. It's as if the day ends in chaos, setting you up for shallow sleep and an unsettled mind. Repeated nights of emotional turmoil show up on your face over time: deeper lines, sagging skin, and a tenseness in your expression that rarely fully fades. You might notice how some seniors appear perpetually anxious or combative, even in stillness. Often, this is the toll of unresolved stress. Patricia, 69, always believed nighttime was the best time to hash things out with her adult children. They were busy during the day, so if a disagreement arose about finances, family events, or personal decisions, she'd call them at 9 p.m., determined to fix matters before sunrise. The calls often stretched an hour or more, brimming with tension. She spent her nights swirling in anger or sorrow. It was only when she began to see the toll on her health: sleepless nights, headaches upon waking, a constant sense of dread, that she realized the habit was dangerous. The tragedy is that many older adults see this as the only way to handle disputes, unaware of the long-term damage. The body pays the price every time your mind remains in turmoil. It's like a thief that sneaks in and steals small pieces of your youthful energy, adding lines and aches you didn't have before. If you recognize yourself in this pattern, consider postponing heavy discussions to a calmer time of day. You may also practice a brief winding down ritual before bed: soft breathing exercises, a soothing piece of music, or writing down stray thoughts in a notebook. Freeing yourself from this cycle of nightly emotional battles can return the hours before sleep to a zone of peace, which in turn fosters a gentle, restorative rest. Number 4. Overusing screens or bright lights that disrupt your sleep. We live in an era where every form of entertainment and information is at our fingertips. But if you're over 60, those late-night hours spent on a smartphone, tablet, or computer screen could be shaving years off your vitality. You might enjoy connecting with friends online, catching up on shows, or just scrolling through photos, but the hidden cost is the disruption of melatonin, your body's sleep hormone. When you expose your eyes to bright, blue-tinged light, you tell your brain it's still daytime, even if it's 10 p.m. or later. Norman, 72, used to fall asleep without trouble in his 50s. Then he got a tablet as a gift, and it transformed his evenings into a screen-filled routine. He would read articles, watch videos, or play games until he felt really tired. But oddly, he noticed he was actually staying up later, feeling alert long past his usual bedtime. Over time, that calm, natural sleepy feeling didn't come anymore, and he woke up with circles under his eyes, feeling strangely foggy. Daytime naps became a necessity, and his memory started slipping. What he didn't realize was that his screen habit was flipping his internal clock upside down. Sleep is when the body mends itself, cleaning out toxins from the brain, rebuilding muscles, and rebalancing hormone levels. Once that process is interrupted, even by something as seemingly ordinary as reading a bright screen in bed, the cascade of aging accelerates. Chronic poor sleep leads to imbalanced appetite hormones, pushing you to crave sugary or fatty foods, a compromised immune system, and a general sluggishness that creeps into your waking hours. Over months and years, it leaves its mark on your face, your posture, and your mental sharpness. Avoiding screens entirely in the evening might feel drastic, but even small changes can help. Dim the brightness, switch to a warm color filter, or set a strict cutoff time at least an hour before lights out. If you find your nights revolve around a TV or phone, experiment with reading a paper book by a gentle lamp or listening to soft music. Stretching or light yoga can also transition your mind away from screen-induced alertness to a more relaxed state. Watch what happens after a week or two of consistent changes. You might find yourself easing into bed without the usual tension, your breathing more even, and your complexion carrying a subtle glow of better rest. Number 5. Neglecting a soothing wind-down ritual that eases the mind. It's a small detail that often goes unnoticed, yet its absence can do more harm than you'd imagine, failing to create a nightly wind-down ritual that calms the mind and signals your body it's time to rest. Many older adults treat bedtime like an on-off switch. They stay active until the last second, then suddenly try to force sleep the moment they slip under the covers. This abrupt approach ignores the reality that an aging body needs transition time, a gentle easing from daily busyness to rest. Consider Lewis, 66, who had no official end-of-day process. He'd watch television, respond to emails, or pay bills until he felt a wave of fatigue. Then he would rush to bed, hoping sleep would overtake him instantly. More often than not, his mind kept spinning with thoughts of the day's events, finances, health concerns, or family worries. Lying there wide awake, he'd grow frustrated. As this became a pattern, he started associating bedtime with dread. Eventually, his sleep was so fragmented that he felt exhausted and irritable every morning. The absence of a relaxation routine starves you of the natural buffers the body employs to shut down awake mode. You might carry mental clutter and tension well into the night, forcing your body to remain on mild alert. Over time, these mental burdens reflect physically: sagging skin tone, chronic under-eye bags, and a shortened fuse when dealing with even minor stress. The cycle feeds itself. Feeling worn out can lead to mood swings, and negative moods often cause you to repeat destructive habits at night, like oversnacking or binging on anxiety-inducing TV shows. A wind-down ritual doesn't need to be elaborate. It might involve setting a cutoff time for technology, enjoying a warm bath, or sipping a mild, herbal drink. Some people find gentle stretches or breathing exercises helpful. Others write down a few gratitude points in a journal to redirect their thoughts from worry toward calm reflection. Once you introduce a simple, consistent routine, you give your brain and body a reliable cue: now is the time to relax and heal. Seniors who adopt this practice often notice deeper, more continuous sleep, and upon waking, they feel surprisingly lighter and more eager to greet the day. It's the kind of subtle but significant transformation that helps slow the march of time on your body and mind. Now that these 5 habits are out in the open, the next step is yours to take. If you're still convinced your evenings don't matter, I'd urge you to look again. The truth is that aging isn't just a matter of accumulating years, it's the day-by-day wearing down of your system by routines that seem innocent but, in reality, erode your vitality. Hidden anxiety from the news, heavy foods that weigh you down, unresolved emotional battles, the glow of late-night screens, and the total lack of a soothing evening ritual. Each one acts like a silent accomplice in speeding up the aging process. And once you see the impact they have on your body, your emotions, and your precious sleep, you can't simply pretend it's a small matter. Some will read this, nod in recognition, and go right back to their usual ways. But if you want those extra years to be rich with energy, confidence, and clear thinking, it's time to uproot these nightly mistakes. Let tonight be the beginning of a new approach, a more mindful practice that puts your well-being first. Don't wait for the warning signs to grow louder, or for your body to raise the alarm in more drastic ways. Each habit you change will bring an incremental but very real improvement, calmer sleep, fresher mornings, and the quiet certainty that you have more life in each day. If you've made it this far, ask yourself, how do you really want your next decade to feel? Will you keep letting harmful patterns dig into your vitality, or will you seize control of your evenings to protect the life you have left? Tonight, you have a choice. Be bold enough to reshape these final hours of each day into a gentle and restorative time, rather than a breeding ground for anxiety and exhaustion. Sometimes, one simple shift, like cutting off electronic devices an hour earlier or switching a late, heavy meal for something light, creates a ripple effect, restoring lost energy and granting you a sense of calm you might have forgotten was possible. Thank you for staying with me through this exploration. I appreciate your trust and your willingness to confront the ways our ordinary habits can undermine us. You deserve a restful, healing evening and a body that greets tomorrow with renewed strength. Together, let's refuse to settle for the false comfort of routine. The change you create tonight could add quality years to your life, years that still sparkle with possibility. Take that step forward, and let your evenings become the gentle gateway to all the vibrant mornings still waiting for you.